So after asking so much nonsensical questions, you finally now start letting Amber ask some real solid, well, a real solid question that you should have asked what? I don't know. How many moons of episodes ago? Let's go.
How did you and Shayla even happen? Like, when did it happen?
Babe, we don't need to go down that. Like we're good now. We don't need to talk about that.
Babe, I'm not upset. I just want to know.
You remember that night when it was you, me, Dalen, and Shayla, we went to the club and we went back to your condo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, when you were like super drunk?
yeah, and Dalen took me home, right?
So with him mentioning this, I remember we were talking about this and we came up with this particular portion. And some people said this was not right and nothing had happened and he said nothing happened and blah, blah, blah. Why is he bringing this up now if nothing had actually happened? So it means that you guys are wrong. You're incorrect and wrong about exactly what it is. And that is the actual night that all of this started.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I was getting in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a knock at the door,
Mm-hmm.
and it was Shayla.
She left my house
Mm-hmm.
and came here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, it's not crazy at all, Amber. These things actually happen, but you're behaving naive, and hopefully, maybe from hearing this story, you can get less naive and don't act the way that you've been acting, and realize that actually people are out there trying to actually do things to you. Like people are actually out who literally want your life. You just do have these people, and so you need to understand that it's like you're going into the jungle and you see a lion. It's a lion. It will attack you. Like you can't act like no, you don't know. So I'm glad you're hearing this from Anthony's standpoint.
I remember inviting her to stay at my place that night. Cause, yo, so, so Anthony, you were like super drunk. So you saying she took advantage of you?
I'm a man, baby. You
No,
can't take
babe.
advantage.
Good topic, because I talked about this the other day and we talk about taking advantage of things and being victims. And I said that when the rules are, is remember, you ladies up say it's a double standard, it's a double standard. I said there are many double standards that you ladies don't understand. It's a double standard. We're talking about taking advantage of, and when it comes to a man, it is hard to prove. It is hard to get with. People will laugh at you. And you're realizing now the stigma behind it. Notice what he's saying at this point. Keep letting him go ahead.
Yes, you can. I
Mm-hmm.
hate when people say that. That's if you're drunk, you know you could have pressed charges against her.
Baby, I can't do that.
Why can't you?
Because society has told him that he can't do that. That's exactly why. And this is what I'm talking about. These are some of the double standards that women don't realize about. That when people talk about it and say, but it's a double standard, and you give double standard to everything else. And I'm telling you that there are some double standards that men just have to get over. And one of them is this. One of them is the whole idea of taking advantage of. It is hard to prove of when men have been taken advantage of. It's very, very hard to prove. One of the hardest things in the world to prove. And most times you are ridiculed. You are ridiculed. Remember somebody in Jamaica, it was the same thing. A man going to some police station and try to tell him that he was taken advantage of by some woman, and them laugh him to scorn and tell him, so tell the woman them to come take advantage of him. Of them. That's exactly what it is.
There's no difference between a man and a woman. Yes, you could. She took advantage. She knew you were drunk, and she just shows up at the house.
Baby, I take responsibility for that. I'm a grown man. I should have made the right decision, and it just spiraled.
Made the right decision while you're intoxicated. That don't make sense, sir. So none of that makes sense. But again, he's ashamed because why he's ashamed is the mere fact that him couldn't do anything at all about it. And that's just a part of what it is. This is one of those facts that men have to face as time come by, but that's how it works.
I'm not. I'm ashamed of it. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Well, you have to trust the process. I hope it works out. But again, I'm glad she's asking this question. But good God, it take her a year day and change to ask this question. I guess she's one of those slow persons who have to go through the whole gamut of just asking these simple well, it's not just a simple question, but questions that you're supposed to be asking. Because if there's any question Amber should have asked from the beginning is how the two of them happen. How this entire thing happened. Like really, really, without getting upset at all. Ask yourself the question how it really and truly happened. Stephanie and I have always said that part of this entire thing of the failure of Amber's marriage is a lot of it is Amber's fault because Amber had not been watching and praying. She prays sometime, but she not watch enough. She has not been watching, and she has been watching enough and didn't realize what was actually going on. But yes, this has been happening a long time. So now ask yourself the question, Amber. If Anthony and Shayla has been having this going back and forth from before you were married, then all of the narrative that you're pushing on yourself, you really can't push for yourself. But at least he was, plausible to tell the actual truth versus lying, because why when Anthony go for a lie, him lie. But at least he's actually telling the truth as to what really took place and what really and truly went down. I can give him something for that. Not necessarily a star, but I can give him something. We don't know what. But him can at least get something for that. Because that's really and truly what it is. That's what happened. So when we talk about the Wayne thing and whatever it is, let's put it into perspective here. And let us remember that Shayla has been eyeing this man and has been preying on this man for a period of time. Don't act like you don't remember that. But some people forget that because what them have is a whole thing. I've seen the story from one side. Only see the story from both sides. Me see the part that Amber has faltered at, which is her nonchalant attitude, her naivety at different points, her super naivety, which just don't work. But at the same time, you see exactly that Anthony was actively, making this happen nonetheless. Him keep going back. Him couldn't stop himself. And that is also something to talk about. And that's why I'm saying shame of it. Anyways, let me know what y'all think. How you feel about this question? Where next? Let me know what you think. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Talk to y'all soon.